loosey-goosey. Get some coffee in me. Maybe that'll put me in the right mood. Hey everybody, your friendly GM Bobby here, bringing you your first episode of Diary of a Gamemaster. I'm gonna have to come up with an intro or something like Diary of a Gamemaster. Or maybe it'll be like Diary of a Gamemaster. And I'll have a dragon fly in here and breathe fireballs into my hand. Yes. I'll probably just do something in post. Cut it in. Alright, hopefully that was good. So, welcome to my new show. It's called Diary of a Gamemaster, in case you haven't figured that one out yet. I'm new at this. My name is Bobby, the GM of the actual play YouTube show Complex Action on this channel right here. A little bit about myself, since this is episode number 1, I guess. I'm a GM of primarily Shadowrun. I love running Shadowrun. I've played Shadowrun most of my life. I'm also a contributor to the Arcology podcast. I started off doing the Masked Gamemaster segment. This is the Masked Gamemaster. Now I do a segment primarily called Dear Handy. Just like a funny question and answer segment contribution to that show. The Masked Gamemaster pops in every once in a while. What you probably know about is my Shadowrun actual play called Complex Action. If you aren't familiar with that and you're coming from somewhere else, check it out. Complex Action. It's the games that I run on a weekly basis. Still weird to me that people are interested in watching me play. It's really interesting actually how much running an actual play has actually improved my GMing. Tip of the day! Recording all your sessions and going back and listening to them again. You catch lots of mistakes, lots of ways you could have done things differently. The other most important part of my life is that I am a stay-at-home dad. So yeah, I just sit around all day and make YouTube videos. Actually, no, that's not what I do at all. I sit around all day and I feed my child. I go to the grocery store. I do laundry. Do lots of house cleaning. Play with my daughter. I play some more with my daughter. I put her to bed for a nap. Then I get up with her and play some more with her. And it's really endless exhaustion. Anyway, this isn't a parenting show. I'm not going to talk about parenting all the time. Probably I'll talk about parenting a lot. It consumes my mind. So that naturally leads to the question, why am I doing this? I have no free time. What am I doing? So talking about this stuff really helps me kind of get out my thoughts and ideas about how I want to do things while I'm GMing. I think my wife would like me to have another outlet. Think she might be getting tired of hearing me talk about this stuff all the time.
You see, the thing that people don't realize is that it's about collaborative storytelling. It's not just rolling dice and killing grunts and fighting monsters. I mean...
But primarily I'm doing it for you, dear viewer, so that you can get whatever it is that you're going to get out of this. Alright, on to the main thing I wanted to talk about for this episode. I've been working on the next Shadowrun adventure for my players, and there is this recurring problem that I'm always dealing with in Shadowrun, and that is how to make balanced combat encounters. Is it important for it to not be too hard? Is it important for it to be not too easy? Or maybe balance isn't important at all. One of the problems is I've started dabbling in dungeon mastering for Dungeons & Dragons. There's a prescribed way in there that guides you in, this is the average level of your players, so this is how to design a balanced encounter for those players. And Shadowrun doesn't have anything like that. The closest they have is what's called a professional rating system. Your different grunts that you throw at your players have different professional ratings. Professional rating 0 is just some street punk walking down the street. Professional rating 1 might be a street gang, a little bit more organized. 2 might be a security guard at an office building, all the way up to 6 in the book, tier ghost or some kind of special forces operative. To get back to the point, a lot of people are asking all the time, how do you design balanced encounters for your players, and how do you design NPCs in general? The conclusion I think I've finally come to is that there's no such thing. So here we go. Ready for the short answer for how to design balanced combat encounters for Shadowrun games? Don't. Very unsatisfying, I know, but it's true. In Shadowrun, the professional rating doesn't just correspond to the amount of skills and attributes that they have. The big thing that the professional rating does is tell you how much edge they have available to use. Edge in Shadowrun, it's a measure of the character's luck, is something that is not directly tied to skill rolls. Edge is an attribute you can kind of use as a pool to make interesting, powerful, and unlikely things happen. The more edge you have, the more you're able to do really difficult things. Giving your NPCs that your players have to fight more edge corresponds to making them more powerful. So that's why the professional ratings really are a good way to gauge how powerful a combat encounter you're sending after your players. So the first step really should be figure out what is the nature of the threat. Are they going up against a bunch of street gangers breaking into a low-level office building? Or are they being hit by the special forces of Ares Macro Technology Megacorporation? That's going to tell you what professional rating to go with. Professional rating 1 for the street gangers, professional rating 2 for the security guards. And that's what you really need to know, because use that edge. The edge pool that your grunts have is equal to the professional rating that they have. So if they have a professional rating of 2, they get 2 edge points to use during that combat encounter. That's 2 opportunities to do something really crazy, to avoid damage that might have killed them, to execute a particularly powerful attack. Now, you might be asking, okay, that tells me how powerful, what professional rating to use. What kind of dice pools should these guys be using? I'm going to say something that might sound radical here, which is, it doesn't matter. Just give your guys like a dice pool of 10, 12, 14, somewhere in there. Honestly, the dice pool really isn't as important as people think it is. You'd think that, the higher the dice pool, the more likely you are to succeed in a test. And yes, strictly speaking, that is true. But once you get up into dice pool sizes of about 12 or so, increasing and decreasing the dice pool by a little bit doesn't make as much of a difference. What does matter is using that edge to do extra crazy things, avoiding a critical glitch or infusing the dice pool with a bunch of dice all at once by using the edge. Re-rolling your failures is a really powerful thing to do with edge. It's really the professional rating that is going to have a big impact on whether or not your grunts are powerful or not. So to answer the question, what should the dice pool sizes be? What should their skill levels be? What should their attributes be? They're just grunts. They're gonna die, okay? So you don't need to kind of flesh out all these little details. How many dice should this guy be rolling? And just roll that many dice for everything that they do. More powerful, kind of big character NPCs that you want to be really memorable, like boss fight type NPCs, maybe those guys you really do want to flesh out. Those guys are going to be people that your players are going to maybe be talking to, maybe they need knowledge skills, maybe they need other active skills because they're going to be doing other things. But if they're just grunts that your players are going to be whipping out their shotguns and mowing down left and right, you're going to be really disappointed if you spend a couple of hours designing these guys and they just get mowed down. So don't do it. Write your story. Focus on the flavor of everything. So I want to hear what you guys think. Give me your ideas. GMs out there, tell me what you guys do. What are your tricks? How do you improvise new combat encounters quickly? If you're in the habit of making NPCs really, really detailed, you dread situations where you have to improvise. But I know there's a lot of GMs out there who are really great at improvising stuff. Tell me about it in the comments. I can't wait to hear from you. If you enjoyed what you saw, click the like button. If you want to see more, click the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye! I need some more coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. That's something that you guys guys are gonna learn about me. I drink a lot of coffee. The Donut Fryer. Best donuts in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.